Hey everybody, Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, and today we've got an interesting topic. Yesterday, the earnings calls came out for Hasbro. They talked about the amazing success of Final Fantasy making $200 million in one day when it took Lord of the Rings 6 months. But that's not why we're here today. Today, we're going to be talking about a quote. And that quote is, and I'll put it up on the screen, from Brian Cox saying, I think about 30% of the player base today are women, and we'd like to see that increase over time. So we're also looking at IPs that could have some resonance there. So don't be surprised if you see us poking into romantic. And I just think this is a little off base. I'm not blaming all of Wizards. There's some wonderful people that work there, but I think the best way to make women or anyone feel welcome into your game is to make them feel safe. So this is not an overarching Wizards issue because Wizards has always done a lot of things to try to make a lot of people feel included. I think that a lot of this boils down to how women are made to feel when they go play at their local game stores, and not just women, but people of color, and members of the LGBTQ community, anyone that is, not somebody who looks like me, right? When I first started playing Magic, and when I used to go to like Star City Games 5Ks for Legacy and stuff, it was we're gonna use the word homogenous. A lot of folks looked like me. I'm generic dude number 583 here, but I've seen multiple times throughout my play history, like a woman would come to an F&M or to a draft or to a pre-release, and you'd have some things happen that would not be making them feel comfortable, right? Like you had two extremes that both make people feel uncomfortable. You had the people like the creepers who would hit on the woman. She's just there to play the game, just there to have fun, enjoy the hobby that I enjoy, that many others enjoy, but couldn't do that because some dude couldn't act normal, right? Couldn't just see this woman as any other Magic player, but had to see them as somebody that they could hit on. And then there's the other end of the spectrum where you have the white knighting, where somebody is just like so over the top, and in a weird way that it also makes somebody feel uncomfortable, right? Like I've seen the plenty of Reddit stories and things like that where it's like, they're sitting at a commander pod, and player A attacks player B, who happens to be a woman, at the table, and player C freaks out. It's like, oh my god, you attacked a woman, just let her play, that sort of thing. Like, no, dude. Like, just play the game. Just play the game and treat people with dignity and respect. Another thing that I think dissuades a lot of women, and luckily from the times I've been at my local game stores, I have not seen this as an issue, but it's popped up a few times recently on social media, and I have seen it on Spell Table, and that is like the naked character sleeves and playmats, like usually anime styled female characters. Playmats where they're either in nothing or next to nothing, or sleeves of the same variety. Now, I'm a dad of a little girl. She's the most wonderful thing in the world. I love her to death, and I have a wife who plays on Arena. And I talked with my wife, Danae, and I asked her, I'm like, what would make you feel more willing to play paper Magic, like go to a store and play paper Magic? Because something I've always wanted to do is play paper Magic with Danae. And I asked her if that's Wizards printing out more products that are geared towards like romantic or like rom-coms, or stereotypically like girly IPs, or if it would be knowing that she could go play Magic at the store without being hit on or being treated weirdly. And I'm going to tell you, at least anecdotally for my wife, it's I don't want to be treated differently, right? And for when it comes to my daughter, like I'm so excited, and like there would be no pressure on her, but I'm so excited that when she's old enough, if she wants to learn how to play Magic, like I would be over the moon about that. Teach her how to play. Let her bust into my old collection here, right? Like with my old and powerful cards, and let her have her friends where they can play together. But something that worries me is if I bring her to a store with me when she's old enough, like say like 10, right? Like that's when a lot of people start playing Magic, is around that age. And she sits down and say in a commander pod, and we're going to play. And then the person across from her unfurls some playmat with either somebody like a character who's nude or next to nude, right? Like objectifying women. Like I don't want my daughter exposed to that. When she's an adult, she can make whatever decision she wants, but like I don't think that's appropriate to show to a kid. And I also think that it makes a lot of women feel uncomfortable to see that objectification. I honestly I don't care if I take flack for this. I don't care if I get downvoted by folks who don't think women belong in Magic, because Magic, like I've said from my very first video on here, Magic should be for everybody, and everybody should be made to feel comfortable and welcome playing Magic, right? You should be able to come into the store, be treated just like everyone else, no differently than anyone else. Sit down, be able to have that fun game with your friends or random folks without the fear of being hit on, without the fear of being objectified or white knighted. And I get that Wizards wants to increase their market share. They want to bring more women into the game, but I don't think the solution is to patronize them and boil them down into stereotypes that all women like romantic IPs, right? Women, just like every other person on this planet, are diverse and not a monolith, right? Like everybody likes different things. And I just think that the best way that they could do this is maybe partnering with LGSs, maybe updating like rules and regulations with LGSs to try to make things more welcoming, increase the rules like, hey, if you see this, don't allow this sort of stuff, since they're WPNs. Another thing is on the LGSs themselves. Like I said, my local LGSs, I haven't seen that, but I've seen a lot of those posts online. But just because somebody's been coming to your store for 10 years doesn't mean it's okay for that person to make someone else feel uncomfortable just by being who they are. And yeah, I know it's kind of a rambling video. I know it's dips into the negative, but I feel strongly about things like this, about inclusivity, about making Magic a comfortable and welcoming place for everybody. Lord knows nobody's perfect. I'm not the perfect person in the world. Nobody is, but the important part is that we all try, and that we try to make people feel better. And what this kind of did also is, like, I started like perusing Reddit, and which sometimes that's not the greatest thing to do, but like something that encapsulates, I think, what's kind of wrong. And this didn't have to deal with people's gender or anything like that, but more like a Universes Beyond product. And this is going to get into my other point about Wizards wanting to gear things towards women. So, this is a random Reddit comment that I pulled from a thread about the Spider-Man stuff, and it says more people in the game does not inherently make it better. In fact, it tends to be quite the opposite. I will skip the set, but I don't want to play against Spider-Man at all. So I don't have the option to not engage altogether unless I stop playing. That's why this set is so divisive. People have been saying that X is ruining the game of Magic since it came out. And now you see this sort of take, right? And we see with things like Universes Beyond or products that somebody doesn't like, you will always have this very loud vocal group that's like, this is ruining Magic, this is this person's fault, this is this fault. What do you think is going to happen to women who play Magic and how they're going to be treated if Wizards makes a product that they feel is specifically targeted to women, right? I don't know what romantic product that might be, but imagine then you're a woman who's sitting down to just play your average Commander game at your store, and you're not even in the pod with this person, but you overhear this person saying, women are ruining Magic, it's because of them that we're getting this crappy product, this shitty product, this is their fault, this is Wizards just trying to cater to them. What's that tell that person? It tells that woman that she's not welcome, that she's ruining the game. And I know that like these loud people are not the majority. I know that the majority of Magic players are wonderful and kind people. I've met so many that are wonderful and kind. The problem is that, you know, I know at least from my experiences, you don't remember the 450 nice things and good comments. You remember that person who made you feel excluded. You remember those words that hurt you. And I don't know. I just think the issue isn't with the types of products being offered to women. It's the atmosphere. And Wizards has come, or not Wizards, but them too. But Wizards and Magic have come a long way from when I started playing Magic. I love that when I walk into an LGS, there are people from all walks of life in there, where I can see women represented, all genders represented, different races, different nationalities, different cultures, different socioeconomic status, and people just getting together, especially like in Commander in a pod, we can have people from all walks of life and have fun. And I just think that continuing to push that message that everyone is welcome, and then finding ways to act upon that by truly making everybody feel welcome, that is the way that you're going to bring more women into Magic, more people of color into Magic, you know, more LGBTQ plus people into Magic. It's the only way that Wizards is truly going to grow amongst different demographics, and not just pandering or making products that kind of stereotype or lock different groups into a box. Well, I thank you all for watching. Dislike if you hate me, like if you don't. It doesn't matter. I'm never gonna be quiet about my beliefs. Magic is a place for everyone, and if you're somebody who doesn't feel that it is a place for diverse and widely varied groups of people, I would just say do some inner reflection and see if the problem with Magic is a Universes Beyond set or a woman playing and not your own worldview. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next video.